good morning to you. Good to have you with us on this Tuesday, October 29th, 2024. Good morning, Barbados. I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be here with you until 8 o'clock this morning. I hope you had a good night's rest. There's lots going on. We had some coughing in the studio yesterday. That was Peter. And I don't know if I picked up some of that, but I'm a little nasal today. So let me start by apologizing to you for that. Definitely trying to get some medicine in, but I don't want to fall asleep on the set. You know how it can be with that type of medication. Sometimes it makes you drowsy. So as always, I'm asking you to indulge my presence in your homes on this beautiful morning. So we have a great show planned for you today, but today is a very significant day. It is World Stroke Day, which is a stroke really occurs when the blood supply to a part of the brain is interrupted or reduced, preventing brain tissue from receiving necessary oxygen and nutrients. This year, 2024, the World Stroke Day theme is Greater Than Stroke Active Challenge. So it's hashtag Greater Than Stroke Active Challenge. And this theme leverages the emotional power of sport to raise awareness about stroke and encourage action on stroke prevention and, of course, rehabilitation as well. So sport has been a universal appeal that really transcends geographical, cultural, and demographic boundaries, and people from all walks of life engage in sport in some form or the other. So we want to say a special good morning to anyone recovering from stroke, those people who are in therapy. If you're not, look into it. I know there are a lot of people out there, speaking with the Heart and Stroke Foundation, who don't necessarily follow up on the treatment after. So a special good morning to you as well, and wishing you the very best. The numbers in Barbados are definitely too high on this World Stroke Day. You're going to hear more about that later on in the show, as we have some people coming through to share about how they are working with people who suffer through stroke to be able to try to get them back to their regular selves. Today is also World Psoriasis Day, and for those who don't know, psoriasis is a skin disease that causes a rash type itchy scaly patches, mostly on your knees, elbows, trunk, and scalp as well. So it's very chronic, and it's a long-term disease with no cure, and it can be quite painful. So to be able to bring some attention to these things, I think, is important, because there are so many people working among us, walking among us, living with us, who suffer through these diseases and conditions every single day. And so you don't know, sometimes people might not be in the very best of moods, and we don't understand why. This year the theme is on the profound impact of psoriasis disease on families, which is highlighted by the theme Psoriasis Disease and the Family. So they're placing focus on this lifelong, non-communicable disease and how it afflicts millions of people worldwide, and by extension, their loved ones. So a special good morning to you on that one as well. Just a little bit of housekeeping, so we are aware of all the various days that are coming up, and these days there's so many associations that tell us about how they acknowledge or observe these various conditions. So a special good morning to you as well. Now, every Tuesday we have our conversations on CARICOM. Today is no different. So we have to welcome His Excellency David Comisham, who's Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM. Good morning and welcome. I have to say welcome back.
Thank you, Tisha. Always a pleasure.
And today you've brought along a friend. We have Noel Adams, who's president of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Association of Barbados, and he's brought along his Vinci shirt. He's brought along his Vinci flag. So I have to start by saying good morning, Noel, and happy Independence belatedly, because the big celebration was on Sunday.
Yeah.
So happy Independence, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Thank you very much, Keisha, and may God continue to bless you and Barbados as we continue to work together for the further development of CARICOM.
Absolutely. I don't even know why you're sitting here with a Vinci flag alone. You really should have a Barbados flag on the other side as well, because you've lived here for well over 50 years.
Oh, that's so true.
You've lived here for longer than you've lived in St. Vincent.
That is so true, Keisha.
All right, so
But he hasn't lost the Vincentian
no, he
accent.
hasn't. Well, I don't know if I'm dropping a bomb here today, but I'm outnumbered by the Vinci-born people, because such is the case with you as well. I understand you also were born in St. Vincent.
Yes, I was born there when my father served as a Methodist minister in St. Vincent. So I've gone through life with several accents. I started with a Vincentian accent. We went to Trinidad, that transformed to a Trini accent. And I've been in Barbados since 1971. And so now I think I have a Barbadian accent. So yes, I'm a Caribbean man.
All right, so it seems like 71 was the year, because you initially came here in 71 as well.
Yeah.
Was this a plan? I'm kidding. All right, so I know there was a big celebration on Sunday for the observance of St. Vincent's independence at where they call Vinci Town,
yeah.
in Fairchild Street in Bridgetown.
Yep.
Well, Noel can tell you more about that. I was actually hoping to be in St. Vincent. Many viewers might not know, but I am Barbados's non-resident High Commissioner to St. Vincent. So I really wanted to be there to celebrate the 45th anniversary of independence with Comrade Ralph and the brothers and sisters of St. Vincent. But unfortunately, a little mix-up. I wasn't able to get there. But the community here in Barbados, and I should tell you that the organization that Noel is the president of, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Association of Barbados. I had the honor of being a founder member along with Noel way back in 2001. So they had their own celebration here at what they call Vinci Town in Fairchild Street. But I'll let Noel speak more about that.
Well, I want to say again, good morning to Barbados and to all our brothers and sisters throughout the Caribbean who came out and support our independence in Vincent. And I want to say thanks to all those who have organized such a wonderful event. It was wonderful, it was peaceful, and I think everybody really enjoyed themselves, and that's what really gives me joy, that it was so peaceful. And so again, I want to thank them for all what they have done, especially our CARICOM neighbors who came out and support our independence. It is such a good thing when we can work together as CARICOM individual for one common goal. So thanks to Barbados for opening up their doors to us, for making us a part of their nation, and we will continue to work together with Barbados. And as you know, Barbados independence is coming up, and we do have a big thing in Coral Land also in celebration of Barbados independence. So Tisha, we are inviting you over. and again, we want to see how much we appreciate all what Barbados has done for us. They have opened up the door, and they have been our supporter. And so we say thanks to the people and the government of Barbados for all what they would have done for us, especially in our Independence Day.
It was wonderful to have you as a Barbadian, 50 years on plus. You talked about all the things that were happening in the 70s when that happened, and Noah had been laughing when he said he paid $45 for a ticket to come to Barbados only at.
Yeah, yes, man.
Good old days.
45 days. Days that will never come back.
Days now. I'm ready. Yeah, well, this brings us to, how we're continuing our relationship, whether in trade and otherwise, with St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What's happening?
Well, the first thing we should acknowledge is that of all the CARICOM member states, St. Vincent is the one closest to us. I mean, we're only 100 miles apart, and we are bound together, whether we like it or not. I tell people, in Barbados we have a volcano, and they want to know if I'm crazy. But I said, but when the La Soufrière erupts in St. Vincent, we are affected just as much.
Even more.
Or even more
than some
than the
parts.
people of St. Vincent. So we have a volcano as well. We have, de facto, we have a volcano as well. You know, when it erupted in 1902, Barbados went black. That's the basis of Kamau Braffett's poem entitled The Dust, the day that during daylight time, the whole of Barbados went dark, like it was nighttime. And of course, in 1979, the year that Noel started living permanently, and in 2021 we had it again. So we are bound to St. Vincent, and there are also many other connections that we are not sufficiently conscious of. Way back in the 1700s, when the sugar plantation started in Barbados, our enslaved ancestors, if they wanted to escape from slavery, so they escaped the plantation in Barbados, but the whole of Barbados was a plantation. Where do you run to remain free? There was no place in Barbados to run to. So if they really wanted their freedom, they had to get on a raft or a canoe and sail 100 miles to our west, to the mountainous, forested, unconquered territory of St. Vincent. And you know, we hear a lot about the Garifuna people, the so-called Black Caribs of St. Vincent, which is a mixture of Africans and the Carib or Kalinago people. Many people are not aware that the vast majority of the black people who intermingled with the Kalinago to produce the Black Carib or Garifuna were actually escaped enslaved Africans from the plantations in Barbados. So our connection goes as far back as like the very beginnings of Barbadian history. St. Vincent was the place of refuge for our enslaved ancestors. And right down through the years, we have had this interchange. Bajans going to St. Vincent, I mean, you know, in the 20th century as educators and police officers and civil servants. A lot of the white community in St. Vincent is really white Bajans of English heritage going there to work in the sugar industry and in the bureaucracy and so forth. So Noel is a living embodiment of that flow. He represents the other side of it, Vincentians coming to Barbados. And I guess if we wanted to say, well, who would be more symbolic of the Vincentian contribution to Barbados, we would go to Sir Arnott Cato, the brother of Milton Cato, former Prime Minister of St. Vincent. He made his life in Barbados. He was one of the leading medical practitioners in Barbados and served in, as acting Governor General, President of the Senate, etc. So, Tisha, the relationship is very, very solid.
Yes, it absolutely
at the level
is.
of the people and also the level of our government.
All right, so we're going to take a break here, and to talk about that connection, you know, a grandson, I believe, of Sir Arnott Cato also worked here with us at CBC. Okay. Khalil Cato. You know, he's a broadcaster as well. All right, so time for a break here on Morning Barbados, the very first one today, but there's much more coming up, so do stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome back. This morning we're celebrating St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In more ways than one, we have Noel Adams, who is president of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Association of Barbados. It's been around since 2001. Yeah. That's a long, long time. Mm-hmm. Noel, what are some of the things that you miss about home?
I think one of the things is probably go into the mountain, carrying out the stock. I think I miss going to the beach as often as I should have.
It's strange you mentioned the
right?
beach. You like the brown sand beaches.
Yes, and
someone wants to know what's wrong with the Bajan beaches.
I think our beaches has more in depth in terms of when you go out. There's more. You see more fishes along the shores. You know. And
so you like to swim among the fish,
and you're able to go around the rocks and pick wilks and so on. I think those are some of the things that I would have missed, and being among my friends, I would have missed those of that. Yep.
Oh, that's beautiful stuff. To kind of reflect on your early days in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In what ways does St. Vincent kind of honor its cultural heritage and unique identity on Independence Day? I know that you were to head over to be a part of the celebrations, but 45 is a monumental number.
Yes, St. Vincent has done very well. Population of about 110,000 people, slightly smaller than Barbados in land area. St. Vincent was it came kind of late to the party of the sugar industry and so forth. It was developed quite some time after Barbados, for example, so it has had to do a lot with very little. And I really admire the Vincentian people, their spirit. They probably have that Kalinago, Garifuna warrior spirit among them, because it seems as if in spite of smallness of size, etc., they are never afraid to take on big challenges. So, for example, Tisha, let me big up St. Vincent. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is the smallest country to ever win a seat on the United Nations Security Council. And in 2019, when they were going up for that seat, many people in CARICOM were wondering, are they crazy? How are you going to win a seat? They won it. St. Vincent and the Grenadines then went on, having served 2 years on the UN Security Council, to have the audacity to be the first CARICOM country to go up for the presidency of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States. And once again, there were people in CARICOM questioning this. How are you going to manage having responsibility for the presidency of CELAC? Well, they did it. Not only did they become president, but they had a very successful presidency. And 2017, Tisha, I was in St. Vincent for the opening of the Argyle International Airport. one of the wonders of our Caribbean community, because St. Vincent is so mountainous. To construct an international airport, they actually had to cut down 3 mountains. I mean, you know, it was a monumental task. And again, there were all the naysayers who were saying to Prime Minister Gonzalez, this cannot be done. And he proved them wrong. He did it. And you go there today, there's that beautiful international airport. So that is testament to the spirit of the Vincentian, that indomitable spirit. And they have been extremely well led by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonzalez since the year 2001. Again, he has broken records as well. He is the only CARICOM leader who has won 5 elections in a row. And we in CARICOM are very grateful to have him among us, because he is now the elder statesman of CARICOM. And I can tell you, if we're in council and there's some very difficult, thorny political issue, the leader that they all turn to is Ralph Gonzalez. And they ask, you know, comrade, let us hear your opinion. And he always, you know, will bring his insight and political wisdom. You know, so St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they punch above their weight, and they make a first-class contribution to CARICOM.
Absolutely. And I see you over there sitting and gleaming with pride. What do you want us to know about St. Vincent? Maybe something that Barbadians don't immediately see.
Well, one of the things here I would want you to know, I want to invite you back down to St. Vincent, and for you to enjoy, especially our airport, and to go around the country to see the beauty of St. Vincent, which we have, especially take a trip over to the Grenadines and take a boat ride across. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the people are so hard-working people, and they are so loving that sitting here alone can convince you. You need to really take a trip for yourself and to really convince yourself.
I know of the connection. My early years in radio on 900 AM, many of my calls were from the island of CARICOM. There was a gentleman on that island who had a guest house. And he would call in every day, pretty much the way that people call in on the call-in programs. Now he would call in every day to tell us about what was happening on CARICOM, and that's how they listened. A lot of them only were able to pick up 900 AM, and that's how they made their connection. That's how they heard what was happening with the news and everything else.
Yeah, well, CARICOM is part of the Grenadines, but it is under Grenada's, under the political sovereignty of
we got
Grenada.
calls from Union Island as well. So all along, you know, definitely some great
as you
connections.
mentioned, CARICOM and Union Island, we need to reflect on the damage done by Hurricane Beryl that barreled through the Grenadines, devastating several of the Grenadine islands. Of course, not caring whether those islands belong to St. Vincent or belong to Grenada, which just shows, you know, these separations, these artificial separations sometimes can be quite meaningless.
Invisible lines in the ocean.
Yeah, so Grenada's CARICOM was devastated. St. Vincent's Union Island was devastated. St. Vincent's Mero, St. Vincent's Canoan. You know, the Grenadines are 32 islands split between St. Vincent and Grenada. Most of them under the authority of St. Vincent. But our heart goes out to them. And again, Tisha, to pay tribute to the Vincentian spirit, because even more so than Barbados, they've had to respond time and time again to natural disasters. Whether it's the hurricane, it's the volcano, it is flooding, and they always seem to rise to the challenge. So right now, they're grappling with the rebuilding of Union Island and Mero, and our hearts go out to them. And I know that at the COP that the CARICOM countries will be going to in, I think, late November, early December, there's going to be a very special appeal for funds to help rebuild the islands that were devastated or severely damaged by Hurricane Beryl.
All right. Yes.
I was saying, Keisha, as a nation, we have come a long way. And I want to thank the government of St. Vincent, the Grenadines, for having brought us thus far. We have a long way to go, but with God's help, we will make it. And we all need each other, especially as CARICOM. Without CARICOM, we can't make it. Although people tell you one hand can't clap, it takes two. So I want to thank all the CARICOM islands for having chipped in and support us in our difficult times. And it's my prayer that we will continue to work together to help each other as we continue to build this beautiful country, a beautiful space that called the Caribbean. Thank all those who are in the diaspora for their support, and may God continue to help and bless them.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I can't get away from the accent because I'm here thinking 50 years on and the accent is still so strong. Like there's not even an inkling of a Barbadian accent with him.
I think that's because he is so much a part of a very vibrant Vincentian community that resides right here in Barbados. So much so that we actually have a Vincy town in Barbados. And you know, again, that's testament to the very close connections. I mean, last year I went and checked the statistics. Close to 9,000 travelers traveled between St. Vincent and Barbados in 2023. 9,000 people. So the connection is very, very close, very tight. There are lots of Vincentian students at our Cave Hill campus of UE. In fact, again, that's one of the great achievements of St. Vincent, the education revolution, where they have really focused on educating their people, and they have made full use of the services offered at the Cave Hill campus. So that's why Noel has been able to maintain that accent, because he is so often rubbing shoulders with other Vincentian people right here in Barbados.
All right, what were you cooking up on Sunday, Noel, for the Vincy Day?
There was the regular chicken, and the Vincy had what we call dukuna.
What's dukuna?
It is similar to your conky, right? But we use potato, right, and something tanya and coconut and ginger. But it's similar to your conky, but it is much better. And then we have what we call the doughboy, which is something that we made where we call fire pan top and fire underneath with the old oven. You will not know much about that, but that also is very good. And then we had the callaloo soup, and we had I think they have blackfish. Yeah, that's what come from the fish from a place called Barley, and there was so much other stuff. We had also other CARICOM menus, such as pie and so on.
Bajan pie.
Macaroni pie, the famous Bajan macaroni pie. I mean, what would a feast be without?
What would a Vincy feast be without Bajan pie?
Right. So that in itself, tells us, okay, we can't do it out. We all are one.
All right, that truly is.
And he's a great baker. Huh? If you haven't tasted homemade bread until you taste Noel Adams' homemade bread.
What type of bread do you make, Noel? Anything, everything.
Well, okay, what I promise you is that when next week I'm going to bring one for you, right? I promise you that.
But what do you
my
bake?
wife is very good at that. She is
What do you bake?
superb. She bakes homemade bread. How to describe it?
It's just
It is
delicious.
just-
Right out of the oven, just delicious.
Yeah, I'll probably have to bring one for you to really experience it. Yeah. So that's one of the promises I made.
All right, don't make me promises that you don't fulfill, okay, Noah?
Oh, trust not.
All right, so I know that the relationship continues in terms of the relationship with us and definitely the relationship among the other islands of that make up CARICOM as well with St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
I personally, in my capacity as Barbados' High Commissioner to St. Vincent, I would like to see us even further deepen the Barbados-St. Vincent relationship. I mean, St. Vincent plays its role within CARICOM. St. Vincent, for example, has responsibility for transportation within the CARICOM quasi-cabinet. So that's a given. But I think that there's scope for a bilateral deepening of the relationship between Barbados and St. Vincent. One of the ideas that I have recently been pushing is that our next project, after we establish the ferry service between Barbados, Trinidad, and Guyana, our next project should be a ferry service between Barbados, St. Vincent, and St. Lucia. You know, we already have cargo vessels that move, but I want to see us upgrading to passenger ferry service so that we don't just have to depend on those very expensive airplane rides, you know. Then I think there's a lot of scope for us joint development of tourism because St. Vincent's tourism offerings really complement Barbados's. You know, we are very different in terms of our tourism offering. We have what they don't have, and they have what we don't have. And I think there's a lot of scope for that. You know, we tend to talk about multi-destination tourism, but
All right.
you know,
Well, you most certainly have intrigued or piqued my interest in St. Vincent and the Grenadines all over again as a destination for a visit. So I'll let you know, Noel, next time I'm going, and I look forward to you showing up here with bread, okay?
Yep.
So happy belated independence to all Vincies locked on, all Vincentians. You know, congratulations on reaching that ripe old age of 45 last Sunday. And thank you both gentlemen for coming in.
Thank you very much, Keisha.
thank you,
Always
Tisha.
good to have you,
Nice.
Ambassador. I got a call from a lady who said that the stream wasn't on last week and she was in stitches because she loves to see you every single Tuesday. And she gave me her phone number to give you, so I should share that off air.
Okay.
So again, thank you for coming and best wishes to you.
Thank you very much, and may God continue to bless you.
Thank you. All right, time for another break, but stay with us. We have much more coming up here on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, good morning and welcome back. That was an inside joke. Don't worry, I'll let you in. Today is World Stroke Day, like we told you, so it's really wonderful to have Jackie Agard Spencer joining us, who is an occupational therapist. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning, Barbados.
Morning, Barbados. You're not a morning person?
Not really, but I'm here. It's worth it.
She's also brought along with her Sherry Griffith Currency, who is a stroke survivor.
Yes,
Wonderful to have you here. You got up and made it here to share with us today.
Yes,
so thank you so very much.
Good morning. Yeah.
And Chad Burrows Gill, who's also a survivor. Good to have you here with us, Chad.
Good to be here. Thank you.
All right, so Jackie, I know you are a #1 advocate for stroke survivors, and you do a lot of work behind the scenes. So talk to us first of all about your entry into this very specific area that is tied with your vocation, your work.
Oh, I worked with stroke rehab overseas. I was trained in England, UK, and I became very interested in stroke rehab after I graduated. In fact, stroke rehab, brain injury, spinal cord injury, I became very interested in that, especially because it had young people, a lot of young people, different ages, but a lot of young people who had their lives turned upside down and had to, you know, make something out of their life, had to come back from, you know, ground zero to try to live life, to be productive, to walk, to look after themselves, to move, to think, to engage, to socialize, to earn a living. And it had its challenges. In fact, it's a very challenging experience, especially when you're young and you have your whole life ahead of you. So I became interested in that aspect because I wanted to be part of their journey. I really did.
I know in this part of the world, we're seeing, you know, a lot of stroke, incidents of stroke coming to the fore, particularly because of the prevalence of NCDs and the like. So, Sherry, share your story with us of your journey as a stroke survivor.
Okay, well, I would have had a stroke, and I would have gone, spent some time, a month in hospital, and then I came out and went into rehab at hospital, physiotherapy. After a year there, then they discharged you, and I entered into Heart and Stroke Foundation, and from there I was there still in rehab. It's been a long time, 8 years, but after even 8 years I'm still recovering, you know, so I continue to exercise, and daily I'm seeing improvements, you know, happening even after a year, where they would have said that after a year that everything is done, there's no more improvement. But by the help of God and the grace of God that continues to cover me, I continue to push on, and I'm seeing improvements daily.
Early on, you know, what was your mindset like for people who might be early on in their journeys? Because to talk about 8 years on, it means you're still pushing through.
Yes.
You're still seeing that breakthrough that many experts, based on what you're saying, have said wouldn't be possible.
Yeah. It was a journey. It is a journey, you know, but as you continue to have a positive mindset, we have, like at rehab, we have therapists like Jackie that continues to push us on, you know, even in tough times, even through COVID, where that the gym would have been closed, you know, we continue on because we had online rehab. And you have positive people behind you pushing you, you know, you can't lay down, you can't sit down, you got to keep going, you know, so it's all good. It's all good.
All right, what about you, Chad?
Hey. Well, my journey isn't very different from Sherry's journey. I would have had my stroke in August 2021, right in the middle of the COVID pandemic, which was it was a challenging period for many Barbadians, especially those of us who would have had strokes or any other form of injuries that limited mobility or limited anything really, socializing. You know, in the middle of the COVID pandemic where everything was on lockdown, lots of us were looking forward to being out there to engage in and living life again. And then when my stroke came in August 2021, it was quite similar to Sherry's one. 6 weeks in hospital, and then discharge, physiotherapy at QEH, eventually discharged from that level of physiotherapy until I eventually, joined the Heart and Stroke Foundation with the stroke support group, where you continue to recover and regain life, or I should say advance in life, and being able to adapt to the new limitations that your body may present to you, but still being able to grasp life and continue to live life, because there is life after stroke, which is our motto.
I love how you shape it, you know, be able to adapt to the new limitations presented by your body. For you, what was it like being able to speak with people who would experience this, being a part of the group?
It is always a learning experience. It's a very interesting experience, really. Getting to hear other testimonies and persons who've been through the same thing that you've been through. You know, one thing about strokes is that regardless of what is affected, some of us have paralysis either on the left or the right side. Some persons may have limitations in their speech or being able to communicate clearly and efficiently. And so being able to hear and see the experiences of other persons who also are going through or went through the same thing that you went through is one of the things. It's very encouraging, I must say. Being able, it's a community, it's a very close-knit community at the Heart and Stroke Foundation. All of us help one another in whatever ways we can. You know, some things become easier to other persons, and then as a younger person, you always have that expectation, well, this should be easier for me. Why can't I do this, or why can't I do that? Why am I not at that level yet? But the community of the Heart and Stroke Foundation of Barbados encourage and assist one another. Our celebrations and our activities throughout the year help us to push through.
That's good stuff. Now, Chad raised some very interesting points, as did Sherry, but something that stays with me is the whole thinking that recovery is such an individual thing. And then for you as an occupational therapist, how do you kind of navigate that in going from person to person? Because even though we're talking about stroke, it will affect each person differently. Therefore, recovery will be differently. The pace at which you recover will be different. So it really has to be treated as you move from person to person as a very individual thing. That has to be quite difficult for someone like you who is working with so many different people to kind of be able to navigate that space, and when this person comes in, make sure that they're seen and heard and you can move forward with it. That's quite challenging.
Yes, that is actually a very interesting question, because I remind them all the time, and they're going to say that everybody's stroke is different, everybody's journey is different. Don't compare yourself too much in terms of progress to the other person, because some people may be affected by speech, some people may have a slight weakness, some people may have a complete paralysis on one side, some people may have what we call spasticity, where their muscles and limbs are tight and it's difficult for them to move. Some people have poor balance. So the challenge is in trying to treat everyone at the same time, because we are seeing more and more strokes come, and they're younger and younger, and they really need, some of them need individual attention. But because there's so many of us, so many of them, and only very few of us, there's myself, we have excellent volunteers. We have a rehab therapy technician who is so good, and she has recently joined, Tiffany. We have some dedicated nurses. So they help. We do group therapy. We have no choice but to do it in group, because there is not enough of me and Tiffany, the rehab therapist, to work individually. So we do group therapy, and that kind of works because they're encouraging each other, they're helping each other, they're sharing stories. We make it challenging, we make it fun, we add music, we try to build relationships, and as Chad said, we build communities, we celebrate every single person's birthday, because it is a significant marker. It is another year post-stroke survivor. So we do make a big deal of it. We go to the beach. We call it therapy outside, so we would have therapy at the beach. We do, what did we do? They walk, Sherry. This was a challenge that was given to them last year.
I went. I don't know if you remember, I was there.
Joel was our cameraman. Hi, Joel.
Good morning, Joel.
Good morning, Joel. Really nice guy. It actually was Sherry's idea, because we always want to, give them a challenge. I do not like people to remain the same at the same level. I want them to see progress. And so Sherry suggested, hey, let's do a walk. And we can't do any walk. Where are we going to walk on the road? It's going to be dangerous. So it was Sherry's idea. So I kind of took it and ran with it. And I thought, where could we do this that is safe? And we chose the boardwalk. So we did that last year. It was a huge success. People were given challenges to walk a quarter mile, half mile, or a full mile. Again, because of the limitations and their different abilities. Because some people could do the mile easily, some people could do half mile, and some could barely walk to the quarter mile and back. And so they did that. In fact, I remember last year, the majority of people decided they were going to walk the mile.
I remember, and Griner, I think Griner.
Griner.
We saw quite a few familiar faces, people who came out.
Yes, King Griner was there. He's part of our community. He's part of our team. Keeps us inspired with his music. And so this year, we did it again. Wasn't planning on doing it again, but it was so popular, people wanted to do it again. And it seemed a little bigger, and people improved on their walk from last year. So it's more like a challenge. It's like you give yourself that personal challenge. It's not for anybody, it's for you. Because a lot of people hardly do anything after they have a stroke. They spend a lot of time sitting.
Yeah.
And when you sit, you become worse. So it's just like a way to motivate clients. And it works.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you have lots of activities that are coming up for the observance. So, you know, get us in the know.
Okay, well, today, World Stroke Day, we'll be having some line dancing at the Heart and Stroke Gym.
Not line dancing.
Yes.
I'm going to have to say over.
Some of the stroke.
Nadia loves the line
their
dance.
trainer is a wonderful lady who volunteered for us for the whole year called Rosalie Turney. She is a dance instructor, so she's been taking them through their paces. Just another challenge.
Sweet.
Yes. So I wanted to shout her out. Thank you, Rosalie.
And then, today, too, we have an exhibition where that some of the stroke patients, after having the stroke, have enrolled into different fields, you know. So at this point, some are doing jewelry, some do natural juices, some are baking. So we have some exhibitions showing what we can do now as opposed to who we were then, you know. So we're doing that exhibition today. Then on Thursday, that's our fun day, where we have some karaoke and some food and some fun. It's fun. You know? So,
it's a fun day.
Fun.
We actually were inspired by Q in the community, because a lot of the clients always say, well, Jackie, we can't go to Q in the community, we're going to Q in the community. But it is challenging in terms of access and time and transportation. So I said, you know what? After they kept asking, I'm going to bring Q in the community to them. So it's our version, a very small version. So that's why we will have some singing.
So the karaoke and the light dancing.
Yes, a grinder promised that he's going to do, I asked him to do 2 or 3 songs. He says he's going to do 12.
Oh, you're
I told
you're trying to outdo you.
You only want 2. Grinder, I don't want 12.
You cannot turn down the 12 songs from the but I want to thank all of you for making the trek here. And I certainly know where there are matters of mobility, it can be a challenge, as you mentioned, for transportation. Even here, where we're working to a fully accessible Barbados, it really matters that we pay attention to this, because you know, it can be anyone, really. So a lot of the time we talk about the disabled community, when, you know, in fact, the very next day there can be something that limits your ability to have access, and this is what makes you feel like you are disabled. Yeah? So I wish you the very best as you continue on your journey. I wish you a great day today as you continue to celebrate. And for those of you who can get out the activities, there's going to be a week of activities that will happen. So there have been quite a few things that have happened already. Again, coming up today on World Stroke Day, they're going to have some testimonies as well that will be shared by the clients. Coming up on Thursday, they're having that fun day, games, line dancing, karaoke. Of course, is their version of Q as well. So if you can get out, or you have someone in your life, give them a call and make sure you go out and support on this World Stroke Day, meant to bring some awareness to the cause. Thank you all.
Thank you for having us.
All right, and for somebody who is not a morning person, we wouldn't have known the Jackie. All right, time for a break, but stay with us. There's much more coming up. Fashion, who would have known?
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you indeed. Just about 5.5 minutes after 7 o'clock, time for an update of the news on Morning Barbados. Government is committing to hosting an annual conference to help young people towards building the future they want. Minister of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment Charles Griffith is promising that the I Am Conference will now be a staple on his ministry's calendar.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's I Am Conference, first held in 2023, will now take place every year to help young people plan for their future. Addressing the opening of the three-day conference, the Minister, Charles Griffith, says the event is a new addition to the ministry's annual programs.
One of the things that I want to say to you young people is that government, through my ministry, will make this event a staple in our calendar in terms of event on an annual basis. And feel free that if this year you're impacted and you want to return next year, that you do so. In addition, I'm hoping that you will invite a friend, or when you move away, you will share the information that we will pour into you over the next 3 days to encourage others to be a part of the process.
Permanent Secretary Joy Adamson says the ministry has seen the benefits of the first I Am Conference in November 2023. She says over the next 3 days, hundreds of young people aged 16 to 35 will be able to interact with experts across various sectors.
This I Am Conference is intended to empower young people through exposure to diversified and interactive personal and professional development sessions. It is aimed at preparing them to embrace opportunities and face any potential challenges by being able to pivot around such challenges.
Business owner and final-year medical student, 30-year-old Miranda Blackman, shares her experience of ignoring those who did not believe in her dream of becoming a doctor.
Guys, I did not give up. And I was determined to be a doctor no matter what. And guess what, guys? I am currently doing it.
Ms. Blackman is encouraging young people to never give up on themselves, no matter what obstacles they face.
This life and this world is your oyster. I want all of you to claim your dash. I want you to make your dash matter. I want you to be determined, be persistent, be driven. I want you guys to be resilient.
Young people from secondary schools, tertiary institutions, Barbados Youth Advanced Corps, and the special needs community are attending the conference. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
The upcoming fishing season will begin with a substantial number of boats out of the water. Many of the 220 vessels damaged by the devastating impact of Hurricane Beryl are still undergoing repairs or are in the process of being replaced. However, those fisherfolk whose boats are back in the water are looking forward to the upcoming season. Rachel Agard visited the Bridgetown Fishing Complex yesterday, and she files this report.
Only some of the fishing boats impacted by Hurricane Beryl will return to the water come November 1st. President of the Bridgetown Fisherfolk Association, Adrian Muscles-Wiltshire, says those boats considered to be flying fish boats are not ready, and the fishing industry will have to depend on the longliners. He anticipates the majority of boats will not be ready for the water before January, but he says he will monitor the situation over the next 2 to 3 weeks.
There's still a long way to go. Some of the fishermen are working like overtime to get the boats back in the water. But, we had the issue a little while back with some material that wasn't in the island, and then because of the large amount of boats that got to get repaired, to have a qualified repairman, someone that knows how to deal and to repair and to do the necessary from boats that was damaged, that workforce is not very plentiful. So some of the guys there, they would have to sit down and wait till a boat is finished and a set of workmen is free to be able to get the boats back in the water.
Last week, Minister of Environment and National Beautification Adrian Ford disclosed that of the 149 damaged vessels, 78 owners received the 25% grant provided by government to facilitate repairs based on the assessment by marine surveyors. Marine surveyor and boat builder with M&M Marine Inc. and A&T Marine Limited, Malcolm Thompson, says he anticipates as the work progresses, more boats should return to the sea. However, he says some boat owners are hesitant.
There are vessels that are ready, but the owners are waiting out for the remainder of the hurricane season to pass and then probably start in January. So they're looking to start the season a little later when it's really start to get active, because November, December is not very, very active in the fishing season.
Captain of Runaway 3, Emerson Pinder, who had just returned to the fishing complex after catching 58 tunas, 6 marlins, and a number of other varieties of fish, describes it as a good trip. And he says it is his goal to always come back with a similar catch.
Sometimes, 2 of us will be fishing in one area, and you catch all the fish and come home. He struggled. So I always say, what for you will get, and what for mine, you won't get, because it's like this. So then you catch, he catch, and I don't catch. I may catch just to clear expense, and expense is a very big thing, because most online boats expense range between 8 to up to 15,000, and you gotta get that money first back into the boat before you can see a payday. So if I come home, you sell $15,000 in fish. Some boat owners, when you will get a payday.
Industry stakeholders hope all the boats will return to the water soon. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
Thanks, Rachel. Now, Barbadians are being warned that the use of free public Wi-Fi could be dangerous. It's coming from an IT officer at the Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union, Wendell Hall, speaking at the recently held digital banking drive at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center. Mr. Hall says its use poses serious risks for online banking.
Most places offer like a QR code you can scan, and that will give you access to the legitimate Wi-Fi of the building. Most conference rooms like this will have actual password that will give you handy one on paper, and there will actually be a secure Wi-Fi that you can use, right? Most of the time when you see a free public Wi-Fi, there are secure ones for sure, but it may not be the best interest for you to use those ones, especially if you want to check your bank balance and stuff.
While CIBC's cybersecurity manager, Sheldon Lane, told the meeting too much caution cannot be exercised when using online banking. He says banks will never make online requests.
If you are not expecting an email from your financial institution or someone you do business with requesting information, please don't click on the link. Don't provide your personal information to these on these sites. always verify the legitimacy of emails and the messages that come into your mailbox.
Well, time for a look at sports. Hayley Matthews and Deandra Dottin's Melbourne Renegades have lost their opening fixture of the Australia Women's Big Bash League, going down to the Sydney Sixers. Renegades were sent into bat at Adelaide Oval and made a useful 178 for 8 off their 20 overs. Georgia Wareham top scored with 61, while Dottin contributed 15. Matthews did not play. We have the highlights from that innings.
Always a shot. Oh, what a way to start.
Into the pitch, and this time edged and gone. And she bowls to Deandra Dottin, who hits it for a 6, the first ball. Bowler! Slower delivery. Gap not found. A chance for a run out and taken. Very crucial. And so is this as well. As we see this one sail into the stands. With their caps. Chance and taken.
Oh, clean hit. Beautifully hit for 6. Hard at it as you are, Speedy. And taken. Gone. Bold first delivery. Beautifully played. What a way to bring up your 50. The third 6, a towering blow. She moves to 54. She sweeps high into the air and 6 more. This is swings hard and disappointing end to a great knock.
Sydney Sixers replied with 197 for 7 off their 19 overs to win by 3 wickets. Captain and player of the match, Elise Perry, top scored with 81. That included 11 fours and 3 sixes. Matthews, Dottin and the Renegades will play their second match on Wednesday against the Brisbane Heat. And that's news for now. We have an update of news coming your way at 12 noon here on TV8. Or if you're on the move, you can tune into our radio stations. 94.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and Q100.7 FM for the CBC News World at 1. It's just about 16 minutes after 7 o'clock. Time for a break here on Morning Barbados. But stay with us. We have lots more coming.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you and welcome back to Morning Barbados. Just about 7:19 here in Barbados. A nice bright sunshiny day. I don't know if you're having drizzles wherever you are across the island, but we most certainly are getting some bright sunshine. It's already hot. You know, as we head to Christmas, sometimes it gets a little cooler. That was in years past. Now it's hot, hot, hot. And speaking of hot, 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 anytime we talk about fashion, we have to get hot. So we have to say a special good morning to Xavier Walker, who's founder of the Caribbean Fashion Collective. Co-founder is Norca Vasquez, and we also have another co-founder in Stuella DeVille. Good morning and welcome to Morning Barbados.
Good morning.
Wonderful to have all of you with us. Now, Caribbean Fashion Collective is an exciting new platform aimed at fostering the creative spirit and cultural diversity of fashion designers with a special focus on the vibrant Caribbean community. Now, we know we have lots to offer by way of fashion. So I'll start with you, Xavier, as the one guy among the two beautiful ladies to talk a little bit about the establishing of the Caribbean Fashion Collective.
All right, so for me personally, Caribbean Fashion Collective has been a vision of mine for the past 4 years. But I don't myself, I could have done it. I'm like, yeah, let me not bother because I don't think I'm able to do it. But then I'm producing other shows for designers and giving them the exposure that they deserve, but yet still my Caribbean people are not getting it. So I'm like, you know what? Within this year, like a few months ago, I said to Norca, like, hey, I think I'm going to start. And she was like, I told you should do it. So I decided to put my foot out there and just start for Caribbean Fashion Collective because, as I mentioned, I'm giving up other opportunities to designers and why not give it to my own people as well.
All right, for you, Stuella, once you heard about this, was it a no-brainer to be able to jump on? And what do you expect of the Caribbean Fashion Collective in terms of being able to provide that platform?
Oh my gosh, when he brought it to my attention, it was like, yes, yes, and more yes. We don't really get too many Caribbean designers as models. So when he brought up that idea to give the platform for Caribbean designers, it was a no-brainer for me. And I just expect for us to go to London, Paris, New York, and to just be all over the world. We want to give designers a platform to showcase their designs right here in New York City.
That's wonderful. Share your experience, Norca, with being kind of pulled in to this platform for Caribbean designers.
Well, for me, my experience was I want to make sure that I give the designers network opportunities, access to key industry players such as buyers, media, and influencers, because most of the times these designers are restricted and it hinders the designer's ability to connect with valuable contacts and just showcase, what they have, their art, their work, and, their passion.
Now, for you, Xavier, I think it's important for us to make the connection with what makes fashion in the Caribbean so much different from the fashion that we're seeing maybe in other places. So there are warm places around the world, but I think when we intermingle with our unique cultures as we move across the region, that's what makes all the difference. What say you?
For me personally, like one thing I can say, once you see your Caribbean folks in the street, you can tell that person's from the Caribbean. Just the way how they dress, how they talk, how they walk. And before I started the collective, I also did a research and I realized a lot of bigger brands come to the Caribbean and get inspiration from our local designers and then go back and, create a mass production in terms of fashion and make a profit off it. But they're making a profit off what the Caribbean has produced, in other words. So we don't get highlighted to be seen. And when we do have a few people who are in the room who can bring us to the table, they're gatekeepers. So I'm like, at the end of the day, Caribbean fashion stands out wherever you go, point blank, period. And for me personally, if I can, if it's even open a crack at the door for you to peep in or come right on in, I'll try my best to do so, because in reality, like, we are unique. Like, we are unique people. Everybody want to be a part of the Caribbean, and everybody I met have some Caribbean culture, even if they're not from the Caribbean.
We're seeing the connections every single day, or people seeking to make those connections. Tell us, for you, Ms. DeVille, I love the name. For you, what sets this platform apart from every other platform? And I heard you talking about there being so many gatekeepers. So what will set you apart? Because for me, that will mean accessibility. That means access first and foremost. That means being able to be seen, being able to be heard. So what will make this particular platform through your collective a whole lot different from maybe some of the others that are already out there?
So we're going to be giving you full control, not too much control, but control as far as this is your platform, this is your show, these are your models. We're providing makeup artists, hairstylists, influencers are going to be there, publications are going to be there. We're giving these designers what most of these other shows aren't giving them.
That's beautiful. And Miss Vasquez, for you, what are your hopes for this initiative? For designers and the people who are part of the industry to be able to build on. So what are some of your personal goals maybe for moving the platform forward?
Well, not only do I want to show diversity, my goal is to make sure that we develop mentorships, initiatives for them to be paired with other, creators and be able to open doors as well as give them insights of how they can continue to elevate their brand, how they continue, how they can continue to show the world what they have to bring to the table. And piggyback from Stewella, just kind of open the world to them. Make sure that they are able to go out and showcase in places like Paris, London, Milan, Tokyo, and so on.
Wonderful stuff for you, Xavier. I know, as we mentioned, the Caribbean influence on a lot of designers from this part of the world is particularly undeniable. We have a more active fashion industry or a fashion industry in some islands and maybe not in others. So will there be a heavy focus on some more than others, or are you working on development across the board as well?
So I'm working on development across the board for the entire Caribbean. At the end of the day, we are an exclusive platform. So we're not just want to limit ourselves just to Caribbean designers, because what if a designer here want to also showcase but don't have the platform to do so? We are going to be very much inclusive. But however, we're highlighting the Caribbean only because we don't get that much highlight. Even if you're not living in the Caribbean but from like a Caribbean descent, we welcome you as well. Because at the end of the day, I know the biggest fashion market is going to be Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad. But however, Dominica is right there as well. Puerto Rico is right there as well. And Puerto Rico is a very high fashion market as well, but they just don't tap into it. And then when the Puerto Rican designers come to New York to do Fashion Week, one of them expressed to me that they don't get the spotlight or the light they thought they would get by coming here, because, of course, most people just want to put on a show, take your money, and just go keep it moving. For us, we've been there, done that. We're not about that. We are giving people opportunity that they deserve, but we want to highlight our Caribbean culture because we are one of one.
Yeah, and for you, Stewella, I saw you nodding in agreement with a lot of what Xavier was saying.
Yes, so just to piggyback off of him, based off a conversation we had with a prior designer, he was looking for publication, he was looking for buyers, he was looking for stylists and models, and he didn't get any of that. So he paid all this money to not get anything that he was looking for. So we as a collective, we're going to make sure that we provide all of that for the designers, because we want for them to have that next platform to showcase their designs here again in New York, in Tokyo, in Milan, in London, and we're just ready and excited.
So Norco, how do we connect with you? I said we as though I'm a designer too. I don't want to be left out. But how are we able to connect with you to be able to be a part of this incredible platform?
Well, we are already online, so you can find us at Caribbean Fashion Collective in Instagram. We are in Twitter. We are also available. We're going to be building also our YouTube page, so you can log in there. Look at the applications if you want to sign up as a designer, also as a model, and if you're looking for media as well.
All right, that's excellent. And for you, Xavier, remind us of all the ways that designers who sign up will be able to, showcase their products? Because we hear you talking about moving to all of the major cities where we have these big showings, New York in particular. I think if people get a showing at New York Fashion Week, they feel like, okay, I've reached the pinnacle. So for you, how are you making these connections that you're in turn able to share with the people who are a part of the platform?
So the fun thing is, everyone here on this platform, we all started modeling. Like I started modeling in Jamaica, freelance, wasn't much there. Come to New York, did freelance for a year. I got discovered from EMG Models, where I work with brands like Target, Michael Kors, Karl Lagerfeld. And so I built a name to some extent and network with people to the point where I'm now an agent for EMG Models. So I'm no longer just a model. I'm also helping other models with their career to find their path. So for the fact that I'm able to do all these things within 9 years, because I've been living in this country for 9 years, it's just the fact that like people keep coming to me like, oh, can you help? Can you help? Can you help? Because we see what you're doing and want to be a part of what you're doing, and we'd love for you to assist us. So I'm like, okay, since everybody want the assistance, by all means, I have the resources. My co-founders have the resources, so therefore, why can't we not do it? So I always tell designers, if you want to be a part, just go on the website on CARICOM, fill out the design application form there, and of course after that we'll review and then have a meeting with you guys and see where you want to go. Like, yes, for now we're going to start off with New York because that's our strongest point, and we're going to also get you an official New York Fashion Week calendar. So it's not just going to be a show where it's not advertised. You'll be advertised to the eyes who need to see it. And after that, we did it up in New York and we move on to different countries such as London, Milan, and Paris. But for now, we're focused on New York because that's our strongest vocal point.
Absolutely. And I think, Stuella, for a lot of us, when we think fashion and exporting fashion, we automatically go to runway or to catalogs. But there's so much more to fashion in terms of being able to get your work seen and bought and get the level of exposure that you need to be able to make it sustainable.
Oh yeah, networking plays a very, very big part with that. So it's always great to network when you're at events, when you're at your fashion show, talk to other models, talk to photographers, talk to designers. And that is the main way to focus on getting the additional information that you need, whether it's to showcase your designs, whether it's to become a model, whether it's to find someone in media and PR. Networking is always that best option to go.
All right, and for you, Norca, can you talk about the support and resources and the Caribbean Fashion Collective will provide for emerging designers specifically? I know you mentioned the platforms, you talked about the models and the makeup artists, but I think it's important to reinforce so that they understand it's a complete platform where you are coming to be able to showcase your services and your products.
Something that we didn't mention before is that besides, being models and in the fashion world, within the production, we will make sure that we help the designers come out to light. We will also work with the PRs in order to bring in those buyers that they need to connect with in order for them to get their designs out there even more, as well as, like I said, mentorship, helping them addressing those challenges that they're facing. And not only will they elevate their brands, but gain more visibility. We will connect them as much as we can to media. We will make sure that they're highlighted. We will give them access to what they need in order for their brand to be visibly worldwide.
I know that you're pushing, Xavier, for this brand to be culturally representative of the Caribbean, and that's going to mean really just building a bridge for Caribbean designers and others to introduce our unique heritage. Do you anticipate that this can be a challenge? I know many of our models, particularly from Jamaica, have been received with open arms in the rest of the world. But do you feel as though the fashion will be received in pretty much the same way?
Yes, I'm going to agree with you because number one, there's going to be challenges in everything you do, to be honest with you. And especially for most Caribbean designers who have been on different platforms before who got burned, like, why should I trust you now with your platform if I've been burned by ABC 1, 2, 3? So that's going to be a challenge, is to convince people that you can, like, to come over with us. We're actually here to assist you and not just burn you. I think our Caribbean mark passion will be received because, as I mentioned before, everybody wants to be a part of the Caribbean. Whether it's the music, whether it's the food, whether the clothes, everybody wants to be a part of the Caribbean, even if they're not a part of the Caribbean. When I go to just in the streets, for example, and I say, oh, I'm Jamaican, they're like, oh my God, I've been to Jamaica, and everybody has a story. So one thing I noticed when it comes on to the Caribbean, everybody want to be included. So therefore, I think the Caribbean fashion will be received the best way possible. And for the fact that we have the platform for it to have visibility, it will be received in a good way.
All right, that's excellent. Stuella, for you, success stories, hopes for the platform. I know when you invest this much time, effort, and energy, you want results, but there's some measure of personal gratification that you're searching for as well.
I am just hoping for us to just be as big as we know that we can be. All three of us have started at the bottom and have worked our way all the way up to where we are. So not from just being models, but casting directors, model coordinators, back of house, front of house. We've done it all. So we know what we can provide, and we are just excited and ready for designers to come on board.
I thought that you were going to start singing the song. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
I was waiting for
Okay, I won't sing. What about you, Norca? What about you, your hopes for the platform?
Oh my God. I get so excited every time that I've asked, a question regarding this, because not only do I get to kind of give my side of my creativity and bring whatever the designers desires to life and whatever their vision is, for me, it's just making sure that we bring out those smiles and hope, because we always want that hope and we want a great outcome. So I'm excited. We are all excited. We're ready for work, and we're here. So we can't wait to see what the designers bring to the table.
All right, that's good stuff. So it's an open casting call for everyone, Xavier. They reach out to you and then you look at the body of work. Tell us quickly how it works so people can jump on. I hope by the time we get off air, there are so many people bombarding your platform that you're like, we should have never gone on Morning Barbados.
I'll bring it in. So how it works is quite simple. You just go on the website. There's an application form there. You go on the registration form tab. You fill out the application form there. After you fill out the application form, we will then review your body of work. And I want designers to apply who really put blood, sweat, and tears in their work. Like, I want to see design. I want to see a fabulous collection. So when you apply, make sure you have something ready to show that, hey, this is what I've done in the past, this is what I can do, so we can really push you, because it's hard to push somebody who only, and it's no shade of disrespect to anybody who does t-shirts and hoodies, but to me, that's just the norm. Like, I can design my own t-shirt and hoodie online. So I want someone who understands the blood, sweat, and tears in designing. So apply online, we review your work, we then schedule a Zoom meeting, and then take it from there.
All right, good stuff. Thank you all for sharing with us. I most certainly hope that we can have a more in-depth conversation in future, but I can see the potential in Caribbean Fashion Collective in really showcasing the amazing artists that we have here in the Caribbean, because I love to call them that. So thank you so much, Xavier Walker, Norca Vasquez, Tuella DeVille, co-founders of Caribbean Fashion Collective. Check them out on Instagram and online as well to be a part of the movement. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. We'll be back.
No more for having us. Thank you.
Thank you again. Appreciate
Wonderful to have them here. I know there are lots of designers out there and some people who might be thinking, I need to get to the next level. This might be the right thing for you to make that next big step. All right, time for another break here on Morning Barbados. It's 22 minutes to go on today's show, but we have an interesting review coming up. Do stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
For NIFA season is here. That's right. It's time to celebrate the spirit of Barbados through the arts. And this year, the tradition of excellence continues with our talented creatives showcasing the best in dance, music, theater, literary arts, culinary arts, visual arts, and film. Now, we would have loved to have it here on TV8. However, the NCF kicked off this season with a virtual launch, and we wanted to give you a chance to check it out.
Hello and welcome to an extra special launch of NIFA 2024. I'm your hostess, Paula Ann Jackman. The National Independence Festival of Creative Arts, NIFA, is a time for Bajans to show off, but not from a place of wanton boast, but from a place of love and pride that is endemic to who we are. NIFA 2024. And now, welcome Zizi Cumberbatch with her NIFA Music Finals performance of Thank You for It All.
I thank you for it all. The good, bad, the ugly, great and small. The times of victory and when I fall. I'm so grateful that I'm still standing tall. I thank you for my tears, and the pain helped me overcome my fears. It's a miracle that I'm still standing here. Oh, you've been good to me down throughout the years. 'Cause all that I am is because of all that you brought me through. And everything I've survived, it's all because of you. I thank you for all, the good, bad, the ugly, great and small, the times of victory and when I fall. I'm so grateful that I'm still standing tall. I thank you for my tears, the pain helped me overcome my fears. Oh, you've been good to me down throughout this, and it's a miracle that I'm still standing here. But all that I am is because of all that you brought me through. And everything I survived, it's all because of you. How can I say thank you for all the ways you made for me? The doors you've opened, the times you were there, always making a way for me.
And now, we've got an extra special performance of Emerton by MLVP Elite Vox. And this one is an award-winning arrangement by our very own Marlon Legal.
You tell me to forget that my grandmother was born right there, so alright, I say I shall go.
Tell me to forget, it is there I want my own children to grow. Alright, I say I shall go.
But I hope you understand how I feel about Emerton, my homeland, my homeland, my homeland. And I hope you know it's true that I will never forgive you, because I look at what you do to my you tell me to forget that you uproot my people and scatter them to and fro. Alright, I say I shall go.
You tell me to forget that you did the wrong things until I let my children know. Alright, I say I shall go.
But I hope you understand how I feel about Emerton, my homeland, my homeland, my homeland. Oh, and I hope you know it's true that I will never forgive you. And you tell me to forget, and you tell me to forget
and you tell me to forget.
Now, get some pen and paper. We saving the dates for NIFA 2024. Get ready for the NIFA Performing Arts Finals for Dance on Friday, November 1st at the Frank Coleman Hall at 6 p.m. and on Saturday, November 2nd. Join us at the Queen's Park Steel Shed for the NIFA Culinary Arts Exhibition and Food Fair starting at 10:30 a.m. And that night, meet us back at Frank Coleman Hall at 6 p.m. for the NIFA Performing Arts Finals for Music. And the very next night, the NIFA Performing Arts Finals for Theatre. And on November 4th, it's the NIFA Juniors. So join us each night at 6 p.m. at the Frank Coleman Hall. The next weekend, it's the return of NIFA Music in the Square. And join us on Sunday, November 10th for Lit Limes, the NIFA edition at the Cricket Legends of Barbados. And that's 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And on the final NIFA weekend, join us for the NIFA film screenings, Friday, November 15th, Lower Bay Street, St. Michael, from 6 p.m. And on Saturday, November 16th, join us at the Queen's Park Steel Shed for the NIFA Visual Arts Exhibition from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And the grand finale on Sunday, November 17th at the Sir Garfield Sobers Gymnasium. It's the NIFA Performing Arts Gala. I can't wait to see you there. And now, relive the moments of NIFA 2023. It's the NIFA Performing Arts Gala, Barbados.
Like a real picture, anywhere we go in the world, you can tell where we come from. Ain't nothing in the world like a real picture, anywhere we go in the world, you can tell where we come from.
This one for the children that raise up, running about barefoot, foot full of nail jumps. Cause look good without no makeup, cross the road making everything break up. Have a sauce with the food with the flavor, we split cricket with the ball taper. The straight drive, beer swipes, square cuts, and the man to the men with the big nuts. You can pay your neighbor for a haircut, we haircut goes when you wake up. Strictly 2 4 6, no vacation, proud to be one because there's a bitch.
Ain't nothing in the world like a real picture, anywhere we go in the world, you can tell where we come from. Ain't nothing in the world like a real picture, anywhere we go in the
We is all gathered here tonight. Yes. To praise the Lord.
Yeah, hallelujah.
And raise an anthem in his holy name.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. We's gonna leave this veil of shame and narrow-mindedness.
Yes. Yes.
And to breathe again the vivid air of God's blue fields and mountain tops. Amen. Let me get an amen.
Amen.
Because God tall, sistren and brethren.
Yes.
God is all we got to gamble with, sistren and brethren.
morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so that's it from us for today. We certainly hope you enjoyed being with us here on Morning Barbados. Just want to remind you it's World Stroke Day today, and quite a few activities are happening. So they had a few things over the weekend, but coming up a little bit later today, you definitely should reach out to the Heart and Stroke Foundation of Barbados to find out a little bit more. So coming up today, October 29th, World Stroke Day, there are several clients who will display some of their work that they do now. Some of the stroke clients will be line dancing as well. There will be testimonies to be shared by the clients. And then coming up on Thursday, they're having a fun day. So games, line dancing, karaoke. A light meal will be served. And of course, they were here a little earlier sharing with us. They're hoping to recreate Q in the community. So I love that. Exceptional. Want to say a special good morning to all of these stroke survivors this morning. I know it's quite the challenge to be able to navigate across that space. So we've shared with you that NIFA has now been launched. All there is for you to do is to head on out and support the artists across the many disciplines, as we told you, dance, music, theater, inclusive of film these days, literary arts, culinary arts, and the like. So for all of those who are getting ready for the season of excellence that is NIFA, we certainly look forward to seeing all of your works in 2024. Also, coming up, we are going to be sharing with you maybe later this week some other events from the Barbados Food and Rum Festival, which from all accounts was highly successful. I don't know about you, but I certainly was enjoying myself vicariously by looking at all of the many posts that were shared. We're going to share with you coming up later this week what happened over at Oyston's, and of course there was the night into day type event, usually called a breakfast type event. It's called Rise and Rum. We'll share some of that. Plus, we're also going to share liquid gold, and down to the very last minute people were calling and still trying to get tickets for that exclusive event as well. So big ups to the BTMI. I know that they've recently won a major award for Barbados, so we look forward to sharing more about that with you tomorrow as well. So on behalf of the entire crew, I want to thank you for staying with us for the 2 hours. Remember, you can reach out to us at Morning Barbados at cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. If you want to see anybody, if you want to share stories, that's what we're here for. True Community TV. So have a great Tuesday. God willing, we'll be back with you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.